Hello students, welcome back to the next section of software engineering. In today's session, we shall be continuing with the first chapter in our unit 5, in which we will be covering the concepts of risk refinement, RMMM and its plan. So let's begin our session. See, basically think about any project or a task you have worked on. Have you ever faced any unexpected problems? You might have faced, right? Like for example, something broke or someone wasn't available or things just did not go as planned. These are what we call as risks. So in software projects also, risks can cause big delays. Not only that, they can cost you more or sometimes they even lead to the failure of the project. So that's why we need a proper plan to handle them. And this is where your RMMM comes in. So it basically helps us to manage the risks so that the project will stay on the track. Now let us understand what is this RMMM and why do we need it. The abbreviation of RMMM is risk mitigation, risk monitoring and risk managing, or it is also called as risk management. So let's understand what are these three terminologies. So talking about the first one, which is called as risk mitigation. This is like taking steps to reduce the chances of a risk happening or minimizing its effect. Okay, you're taking certain steps to make sure that the risk is minimized. That is called as risk mitigation. The next one is risk monitoring. This is like keeping track of the risks throughout the project. So throughout the project, you are keeping an eye on the project development to make sure that risks are not happening. The next one is risk management. So this is like having plan to deal with the risks if they occur. Okay, first thing is you are planning to reduce the risks. Second is you are keeping continuous track to make sure that the risks are not happening. Third is if a risk happens, how to immediately avoid that or how to deal with that particular risk. This is called as RMMM, risk mitigation, risk monitoring and risk management. Now why is this important? See, basically risks are unavoidable. But with this RMM, we can reduce these types of risks. So sudden surprises we can reduce, right? So that is the reason it is important. Secondly, it will ensure that your project is staying on the time and within the budget also. And thirdly, it is keeping the team, the client, everybody happy by avoiding all the unnecessary problems. So in simple terms, if I want to say, see, you're going for an event. You know the weather is bad. It might rain at any moment. So you're carrying an umbrella along with you. Okay? The same thing in software is happening with this RMMM. So RMMM works the same way. It keeps the project safe from the unexpected issues. Right? Now let's talk about the next concept, which is called as principles of RMMM. See, now let's talk about, there are totally 5 key principles in your RMMM. So these are basically like the rules we have to follow to manage the risks. So there are certain rules. Simply you can't manage the risks. The first rule you have is focus on high priority risks. See, not all risks are equally important. So what we have to do, we have to focus on the most serious ones first. Those that are, the most likely to happen and can cause the most trouble to your project development. Like for example, if testing is delayed, then the whole project is stopped. So we have to handle that first. That is called as focus on high priority risks. The second one you have is continuous monitoring. See, risks don't stay the same throughout the project development. New risk will appear, older ones might change. So we have to keep reviewing them regularly. So whenever you are having any weekly meeting or something, then you have to discuss about what are the new risks that have come up. The third rule you have is prepare contingency plans. Contingency plans are like, plan B. Right? If something goes wrong, we should know exactly what to do to fix it quickly. Like for example, if a server has crashed, so we should be having a backup server ready to switch on immediately. That is called as plan B. Now the next one you have is involve the team. See, risk management is not just for the project manager. Everyone in the team should know the risks and they also should know how to handle them. Right? The next one is document everything. You should write down all the risks what are its solutions, what result did you get from that, everything you have to write down so that nothing is forgotten. So these are the 5 key principles of your RMMM. Okay, what are those? The first one is focus on high priority risks. Second is continuous monitoring. Third is prepare contingency plans. Fourth one is involve the team. Fifth one is document everything. Right? Now let's talk about the next one, which is called as using a risk table. See, one of the very simplest tools in risk management is a risk table. Right? So risk table, this is a risk table. So it basically helps us, to organize the various risks, also to prioritize them. So let's look into how this table is going to look like. This table basically consists of 4 columns, as you can see. The first one you have is risk name. So risk name is nothing but what could go wrong. So you will think about what all can go wrong and you list out. That is called as risk name. Second is likelihood. Likelihood in the sense how or what is the frequency of this particular risk to happen. How likely is it to happen? So you rate in the terms of high, medium and low. Right? Next is impact. Impact is how much trouble can it cause if it happens. Okay? This is what is the frequency of it to happen. If it happens, how much trouble is it causing to us? That is called as impact. And the last one you have is mitigation plan. So mitigation plan is how can we avoid it or how can we reduce that particular risk. That is called as mitigation plan. So basically this risk table helps us to quickly see which risks are most important and what are the steps we have planned to handle them. That is called as the risk table. Now let's talk about the next concept, which is called as risk refinement. See, sometimes risks, they seem to be very big or, very complicated to handle. That's when we use this concept called as risk refinement. So what is refinement? Refinement is basically breaking down a very bigger risk into smaller parts so that we can easily manage them. That is called as refinement. So refinement breaks big risks into smaller manageable parts. Right? So how can we do this? To do this, we have to follow certain steps. These steps are called as steps to refine the risks. Let's talk about the first one, which is called as analyze the risk. So here what we do, we take a close look on that particular. So we'll look at the risk very closely and we will figure out what's causing it. Like for example, say suppose if a software keeps on crashing. So that could be because of coding errors or memory issues. So you closely think about what are the problems. Second is plan specific solutions. So what do? You create a solution for every smaller issue that you have identified. Like for example, say suppose you understood that your software is crashing because of memory problems. Then what do? You analyze how your software is actually using that particular memory. Okay. The next one you have is monitor and update. So you keep checking if the risk changes and you update your solutions accordingly. See, if new bugs are found during the testing, add them to the risk plan. Right? So basically these are the steps that you will be following. See, refinement makes risk easier to handle using these steps. Okay, so this is about your risk refinement. Now let's talk about the next thing, which is called as risk information sheet. Okay, so this is, it is like a report card for each risk. So it gives all the details we need to understand and handle the risk. So let me show you the table how exactly this risk refinement sheet will look like. So this is basically how your risk refinement sheet will look like. It consists of 6 columns actually. The first column you have is risk name. So risk name is like, a short title about your risk. The second one is description. So in description, you will write down what is this risk actually about. See, say suppose one of the risk is server crash. Okay. Then here you write down the server may fail due to heavy traffic. That becomes a description. The next one is likelihood. Likelihood in the sense, how likely is it to happen? What is its frequency? Right. So medium. During peak usage, you can say it is medium. The next one you have is impact. Impact is how serious the problem could be if it actually occurs. See, it will be high impact. See, suddenly what happens, say suppose seriously your server crashed, then what happens? Immediately there will be downtime delays in your user transactions. So the impact is very high. Then what you have to do, you have to plan. That is called as mitigation. So how are you planning it? You are creating the steps to reduce the risks. See, you're setting up backup servers, you're monitoring the traffic, all these things you are doing, right? Now there's one more column here, which I think I forgot to draw. There's one more column here in your risk information table, which is called as contingency plan. So I told you what is contingency. Contingency is nothing but your plan B. Okay, so you say contingency plan, which is called as plan B here. So what is plan B? Now the risk has occurred. So what you have to do? You have to find out a solution. See, for example, server crashed. First you thought its frequency is medium, but suddenly it occurred. That means you have to give a high priority to it. So what is the plan B that you have taken? The plan B is nothing but you are switching up to the backup servers, and you are also notifying the complete team here. That is called as the plan B. Okay, so this complete table is called as the risk information sheet, and this sheet helps everyone on the team to understand what types of risks are we getting, what to do with those risks, and stay within the project development. Okay, so this is all about the different types of concepts that we have learned in our first chapter, unit number 5. So we have covered what is risk, what are the types of risks that we have, how to handle them, what is RMM important, how to plan it, right? So this is all about your first chapter. Thank you.